maybe we could speak about a simple thing, perhaps far too simple for our complex mind after thousands of years. But the simple thing that we might have a conversation about is good and evil. A simple description, if you will, as I view it, is good is when you speak the truth, and evil is when you lie. So when you're good, you're in heaven. When you lie, you're in hell. in a kind of a simple way of putting it, if you use maybe some religious connotations to take a look at these words. Religious groups have really taken advantage of words and twisted them around and make them mean whatever they want to make them mean. Wait a minute, that's called evil. When you twist the truth around and make it fit your narrative, if you will. So good and evil starts off as when you lie, you're evil, and when you tell the truth, you're good. And that's the simplicity of it. That is it. That's all of it. If you were to live your life for 100 years and tell the truth for 100 years, then you would die perfect because you've lived 100 years as perfect. But if you tell lies, now, lies have a rather large spectrum. They include explanation, justification, excuse, reasonableness, all of the things that we do and say to adjust the truth to our own liking, to our own way of putting things, if you will. But if you reduce what our world is about, if you reduce it to the simplest form, then our world is all about truth, which is good, or lie, which is evil. And that's it. There's no other thing. It's not like if you believe in God, you get in heaven no matter what. It's not like deeds alone get you in heaven, because is there a heaven? Is the fact that we believe in a heaven a lie? Does it make it so? When you believe something, actually, there's really no need for belief at all, except as a lie. And the truth about it is, if you believe a truth, that makes it a lie. It's already a lie because you're holding it in place. You're not allowing it to be of the natural energy of life, which flows and flows and flows. So, getting back to this simple, extremely complex conversation of good and evil. Hello, Leon. Howdy, welcome. Of good and evil. If you could look at your life and adjust it, alter it so that you begin speaking the truth, you will discover, first, you will free yourself. The truth sets you free is an old saying. Actually, it's partially wrong. Speaking the truth sets you free because it removes the need for memory. It removes the need for lies, for stretching the truth, for tooth fairies and Santa Clauses, and we could go on and on about the silliness of what we do. And as I've said before, if you really care to experiment with this thing I'm talking about, you might start off by saying that your entire life has been a lie, and that you're a liar, if you will. That will put you in the space of, as we are talking here, good and evil. When you live from the space of good, you are living from perfection, from being perfect. Even in that good book, it says, "Be ye perfect. Be ye transformed by the renewal of your mind." There's kind of a flaw with that statement as well. "Be ye transformed" is of huge importance. But if you look at the word "by the renewal of your mind," renew means to make it all over again, to renew it, to begin the same thing all over. So I would say, be ye transformed by making your mind new, allowing that which was to die. Therefore, with what then can manifest is the new. And the new I speak of has never been here before. The word never is kind of strong because while none of us have lived there, the probability is that, going back to the Bible stories, the Garden of Eden was a time when there was what I'm talking about. The same, but different. Have you ever heard this thing say, when I put myself back through 12 years of school, first thing I learned was about same and different, how something can be the same and be different as well. So what I'm speaking of here is a new consciousness. And it may have been here thousands and thousands of years ago as the Garden of Eden. However, if it manifests today, then it's new. Could be the same consciousness, but it's new. It's kind of like a ball. You can say the word ball and think of football, baseball, golf ball, tennis ball. They're all different, but they're all the same. They're all a ball. That's kind of like what I'm saying. Because intelligence, creation, truth, flows. It ever renews itself. It's got a thing built in that we don't use. The thing built in that we don't use is it discovers its own flaw, its own stupidity, its own ignorance, its own thing that doesn't work. And that discovery is the reparation of it. Then it's a new perfect. It's a new way of being. It's a new creation. It's a new intelligence. And the truth is what delivers it. But I'm getting a little bit off of. Hello, Jillian. Welcome as well. So take a look, if you will, with me here for a moment, at these two words, good and evil. When you speak the truth, then you live from the truth. That is good, if you will, this really old statement. And evil is when you have an excuse, justification, explanation, that or those things are all a lie. And that then is evil. So I don't know, because this is a very difficult conversation to have, given the more simplistic we make our lives, the more complex it becomes for us. Because whether we realize it or not, we are the manifestation of thousands and thousands of years old minds. Matter of fact, we're so old we've come to the end of this mind. It's my consideration. We either transform our lives or we end this experiment called life on planet Earth. Well, actually, that's Buckminster Fuller's words, but I like the contextual action behind them because it means to say, how low in the stream of filth, slime, and dirty can we go before we end the entire experiment? And if you look at what's happening on the planet today, you might see that what I'm saying is true. We can't go any lower than where we've gone, at least here in America. And America is supposedly the leader of the free world. And the leader of America and the free world, well, you can't get any lower. You can't. It's impossible to get any lower than him, unless, of course, perhaps Biden wins, which I'm pretty sure is going to happen. We might avert the total catastrophe, if you will. But we're getting way off of the subject called good and evil. So if I ask you this question, if I said that if you've lied in your life, then you are evil. And if you have not lied in your life, then you are good. Which of the two would you be? And it's quite obvious which it would be. However, there is a reclamation for you. And that is for you to see that you have been. And you are a liar. And speak the truth that you have been and are a liar. That makes you good, because then you begin speaking the truth. And if you stay in that dynamic, if you take that quantum leap, if you move in 100,000 miles in a blink of an eye and stay there, you will remain good. Then the wars will disappear on our planet. The rapes will disappear. The killings and maimings and murders will disappear. All the religions will disappear. And we'll simply be good. A perfect experience of being good to each of you. Thanks. Thanks for being here, Leon and Jillian.